Hello, this is Brandy Gutowski, and this is my tutoring case study. Danny is an 11-year-old male who has just finished 4th grade and will be entering 5th grade in fall of 2016. He has struggled previously with reading, but with constant tutoring throughout previous school years and previous summers, he is currently on grade level 4 reading. He does have difficulty, however, in fluency and comprehension. He also has difficulty in writing. He forgets basic rules when writing, such as punctuation, capitalization, spelling, and grammar. His mom shared with me that when he was younger, he had to go to a speech-language pathologist after being diagnosed with childhood apraxia of speech, or CAS, which is a motor speech disorder. Children with CAS have difficulties saying sounds, syllables, and words because there is difficulty coordinating the muscle movements needed to say the words. I completed 2 interest surveys with my student prior to beginning my tutoring sessions. The first survey, Motivation to Read Profile Reading Survey, let me assess how motivated my student was to read. In the survey, it is evident that my student enjoys to read and has friends that have the same interest in reading. He enjoys libraries and reading to himself. However, he does say that reading is sometimes difficult for him. The second survey I completed, Inventory of Experience, let me assess what my students' interests were prior to my tutoring experience. Through this survey, I was able to see that my student liked stories of perseverance. He talked about his enjoyment of the movie Meet the Robinsons because of this. This helped me select the book I worked on with him during our tutoring sessions. I assessed my student with several different assessments to determine what his independent, instructional, and frustrational levels were in reading. My ultimate goal was to determine the instructional reading level to determine my focus on tutoring. On this slide, you can see the data collected from the assessments given. After giving the assessments, I determined that the student's instructional level was about 4th through 5th grade. During my time tutoring, I completed 5 lesson plans. My first lesson plan was a book writing prompt. For this, I had my student read the first chapter of the book together with me, in which it talked about the main character who loved words but was unable to say any words, and she was already 11 years old. I had the student write down how he thought this girl would communicate throughout the book and what the importance of communication was in our lives. During the time reading, I had him pick up clues or provide evidence to me to tell me if his predictions were correct or if the book had a different idea in mind. My second lesson plan was Daily Oral Language, or DOL, writing. This is where I gave my students several worksheets with paragraphs that needed editing completed. The editing consisted of spelling needs, capitalization, grammar, punctuation, and other needs. My third lesson plan focused on vocabulary. While reading the text, I had the student pick out words that he was unfamiliar with. We would look at context clues or use reference materials to figure out the meaning of the words. My fourth lesson plan focused on fluency. For this, I had the student listen to me or the audiobook read a passage. After a passage, I would also pause and have the student reread the passage fluently. My last lesson plan focused on comprehension. For this, I had my student make a folder, and within the folder, there were several pieces of paper. On the paper, the student could write down a summary for each chapter. Once the child completed the summary, he was told to draw a picture for each summary that could relate to it. This way, he had something very easy to pull out and look over to see what a chapter had been about. Lastly, I completed a post-assessment with my student. With these findings, the student has gone from an instructional level to an independent instructional level for 4th grade. He also went from an instructional frustrational level to an instructional level for 5th grade. While testing him, it is also clear that there were less substitutions and insertions in his reading. He also took more time to slow down and read for comprehension, rather than to just finish the passage. I did also assess his words per minute, prior and after tutoring. He stayed the exact same for this. Both were 133 words per minute, which again is in the 50th percentile in the norm group for the spring term of 4th grade. Thank you.